We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Elusive Exclusive Book Society. The sponsor of today's video is Beards. Are you fat? Are you ugly? Maybe you're just plain. You need a beard. I mean, go look at our new vice president. Look at him before and after. It's a totally different guy. I mean, look at me. I shaved a week ago and I lost half my subscribers. But today we are joined by an expert in beards and a real-life Viking, Erik Waag.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Erik. We need to get those sound bites. It's gonna happen one of these days.
No, it's not. We're just gonna mention it, that we need it every single time.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll come up with something.
Oh my goodness. So is now when I talk about what book we read this time, guys?
If you want, like, we could have some technical issues like last time and kind of totally botch the first 10 minutes.
No, this time we read Nine Princes in Amber by Roger Zelazny. Is it going to focus? Oh, there we go. There we go. First book in his Amber Chronicles series. And yeah, this was written, when the heck was this written? In the 70s, I believe. 1970? Something like that?
There's a lot of, I dig it,
1970s,
happening.
Yeah.
And our story begins with our main character, Corwin, who has lost his memory. He wakes up in a hospital in New York, having no idea where he is, who he is, except that apparently he was in a car accident and that he's been kept heavily sedated in this hospital. So he eventually escapes and makes his way to who he believes is his sister. And she promises to help him out in exchange for something. We don't know what. And he gradually learns who he is. We eventually figure out that he is from another world called Amber, which is apparently the true world. It's this giant city at the center of everything. And all other worlds, all other dimensions, including our Earth, are pale imitations. They are shadow versions of Amber. And apparently, he is the one of 9 princes, as the title alludes. And his father, King Oberon, is missing. And so it is up to him to take back the throne from his evil brother, Erik. Or will he? And so, what did you guys think of 9 Princes in Amber?
I thought it was confusing.
It's not unconfusing. It is a very it's got some weirdness to it. And like there were times where I just set the book down and I'm like, okay, what? Okay, I think I get it now. No, still don't.
Yeah, there was some confusing stuff, but I thought this book freaking rocked.
You know, I thought I might catch more heat for this. Maybe I won't, but yeah, a little confusing. I think it started out okay, and then it just took a nosedive for me.
Really?
I did not like it. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And Daniel, my editor, he's going to be angry at me because it's apparently his favorite book. So.
Oh, no.
So, sorry, Daniel.
He didn't mean it, Daniel.
Yeah.
Well, now that it's out in the open, I agree.
Yeah.
I also did not.
Oh.
I didn't like it. And in fact, at the beginning, I was like, I hate it. And then it kind of got a little better. And then towards the end, I thought that's where I had the most enjoyment.
Oh, it was the exact opposite for me, I think.
So in the chat, you guys have to vote. Whoever has the absolute worst take on this book has to shave their beard.
No way.
You all signed it. It's in the fine print when we made you sign up for EEBS. Sorry.
That's no fair.
Check your contract.
Jake, that shaves like 20 years off of my appearance.
Yeah, this is part of my face. I can't take it off. Just gonna go to YouTube. I can't see any of the comments. So
I can't see the comments.
Gosh,
either.
Corbin.
Just click where it says private. Where it says private chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I don't know a thing about Streamlabs.
It's okay. Like I said, I just learned how to use this today.
Duckyard, whatever it's called.
Somebody made the Two Princes joke. Oh, and I missed it. That's all I could. That stupid song, like playing.
That's good. That's good. I like it. Oh man. Well. Speaking of which, I guess this leads me into our first question. Do y'all know the names of the titular 9 princes?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's some of them. I know random.
Random.
There's
Random.
Bray,
Blade,
Erik.
Blaze. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Erik, if you forget that one.
Yeah, I didn't forget Erik.
Belris.
I hope he had a beard.
Right? Belris,
Belarus.
the guy who fell. Yeah.
I'm trying to look trying to remember without looking at my notes.
Yeah.
Who was the
There was
guy
one
on the
I felt
ship?
appeared out of nowhere and attacked Corwin at some point and just kind of
Gelrid.
like, who is this guy?
Now you're
Gellard.
making up names.
It starts with a G.
I gotta make a list. Jim, I think it was Jim. Prince Jim.
It's Jim. Ay. No, we can't name them all because only a few of them are in the book.
Yeah, some of them are dead. Aren't 2 of them dead? Tim.
You're muted.
can't hear
Tim,
you,
you're
Tim.
muted. It's probably
There's technical difficulties.
gonna be a trash take anyways.
Yeah, Blaze. He was he took over for Iron Maiden as lead singer for a while.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, I was gonna say there are 2. To be fair, there are 2 princes that are completely MIA. Like they get mentioned in the beginning when he's going through the deck of cards and looking at all the trumps. There's Benedict, who's MIA. Apparently, he's the eldest of the brothers, and then Brand, who's also missing. So we don't get really anything from those 2. But then there's obviously Corwin and Erik, our main character and villain, respectively. We have Kane, who we don't really get to know that much. I don't even think he's in the story, but apparently he's still alive. Blaze, who we meet halfway through. Julian, who's the one that just shows up out of nowhere, attacks them while they're in the car.
He's got a sweet horse too.
He's got an awesome horse. So here's the thing. I don't know what it is with Roger Zelazny and like giant magical horses, because the only other Zelazny books I've read, one of the main characters is a giant metal demon horse.
Yeah.
So
That's my band name too.
giant metal demon horse, yeah. It's a good one. Yes, and then there's Gerard or Gerard. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And yeah, then Random, who is like the runt of the litter, essentially.
Yep. Yeah. See? Easy.
Easy. Apparently, there people have made like actual decks of tarot cards with all the princes' faces on them and stuff, which is interesting.
I thought it was a really cool idea when they first introduced that. I was like, man, that is awesome. I was agitated because he doesn't have a memory and he's doing the pretend thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that really got on my nerves. I was ready for it to be over. Just say you are. Just say it.
Yeah.
But then once they did the cards, I was like, this is a really original idea. This is pretty rad. You know?
Yeah, it was a good bit of world building. I didn't really understand how the cards fit in with magic, but that's okay. We could let it play out throughout the book. But
I have a feeling the magic's going to be a little wishy-washy with this series. I don't know why, but I think that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
But that said, were there any of those characters actually, jump out to you guys, stick with you in any way?
I liked Corwin. Once he got his memories back, or kind of when he was starting to get his memories back, because at first he was just kind of doing everything on instinct, and it felt like he didn't have any agency whatsoever. It felt like he was just kind of a roller coaster going through the story motions. You know what I mean? But I think once he got his memory back, I liked him. I liked how he wasn't your typical hero, because he's like, this guy's he's not really that good of a dude. I did like how he would constantly go his dialect, depending on what situation he would talk in like old English and like the New King James style, these and thous, and then he would be like, you dig it? We're about to get creamed. So I thought that was hilarious.
Can you dig it?
Yeah, the change in dialect at first, it really sort of put me off. It's like, this guy, what's his voice? It just seemed a bit confused to me.
Yeah.
I will say there are a couple scenes, I think, where it is kind of out of place. Like there are one or two scenes in Amber, like in the sort of medieval fantasy setting, where he did get back into like 70s slang for no reason. But I think for the most part, it was cool how he kind of adapts. But Nick, I will agree with you in that the whole I'm just playing along with these people because I have no idea what's going on thing kind of got old for me in the beginning. So I was very glad once he like got his memories back. He's like, okay, now I know what's going on. But of course, by that point, where the book is more than halfway over. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should have been wrapped up around maybe a quarter, and it would have played out.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought all the characters were pretty much the same. They were all jerks. They were all selfish, right?
Yeah.
They all, and I think one of the biggest qualms I have, they're like, Eric's the bad guy. Eric's the bad guy. They never show that dude do anything bad.
That was
Never.
a big.
Why is he the bad guy? Because Corwin's the good guy? Corwin's not a good guy. He's like, for like 1 second, he's like, oh man, we got this whole army. I kind of feel bad. They're going to die. Okay, let's just go. Like
he got over it pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go with the roguish anti-hero character, but just he didn't seem likable in a lot of places, and not much to distinguish him from Erik. So
that's fair. I will say something that helped me kind of because yes, I do think they're very samey. At least the 9 princes are all very samey. But something that kind of helped me was at some point when I realized like what was actually going on, that the fact that this is a cosmic interdimensional war with these godlike beings, I was like, okay, so I can't treat this like it's a heroic fantasy. I got to treat this like it's old world mythology. This is, Greek, Roman, Norse mythology, where all the gods, they're just a bunch of jerks, and they're going to stab each other in the back. They're going to, they're going to seduce each other, and, I don't know. It helped when I kind of stood back and was like, okay, all these people are jerks, and I'm just going to pick the ones that I like the most. That said, they're all pretty much the same, so I've yet to really pick a favorite.
yeah, I didn't even really get the sense of their like superpowers until, I don't know if we want to skip ahead till later in the book. We can jump around, I guess. Until he got his eyes burned out, and then they just grew back. I'm like, oh.
Well, that was one of the questions I wrote down. So,
Okay.
Is Corwin growing his eyes back in like the 11th hour? Is that a cop out?
I don't think so.
I
Go ahead.
put the
Go ahead,
book
Nick.
down, honestly.
The cop out is the magical guy appearing in his cell right when he needs him to.
Yeah.
That was good. I was going to leave the next question with that one. Yes.
There was a few.
That's true. I don't think it was a cop out. The eyes growing back, because he does even throw back and mention like that's how I was able to like. They said no, your spine was shattered. You shouldn't be able to walk. That's how he's able to like rip his cast off in the very, very beginning. So that is set up.
Hinted at it, yeah.
It was at least hinted at, but it wasn't didn't actually make sense until the very, very end. But correct, the little goblin guy was a cop out.
What was his name? Dworin
Ex Machina.
Dworin Ex Machina. Yeah, well, so when they got to the part where they're burning out his eyes or whatever, I was like, okay, some small part of me was like, it'd be kind of cool if we go the rest of this entire series with a main character who can't see for whatever reason. But of course, when he mentions, oh no, I just started regrowing my eyes, I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah, I was hoping they would go sort of a blind kung fu master route, You know?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
He can
That
only
was
see in the shadow realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh
cool.
man, the Shadow Realm. That's another thing that that irked me was they keep mentioning it, and they're like, "Oh, they will get these people from the Shadow Realm are after us," and I'm imagining like the ring wraiths or like something cool, and then like halfway in the book, they're like, "It's Earth," and you're like, "Oh."
Yeah, it confused me. I thought,
Well,
is
they
it the astral
also
plane. What is it? You know?
yeah. Well, they also get it when he's still at the mansion with Flora and Random, and they just get attacked by like those mobsters who turn out to be like weird, like goblin people or whatever.
Yeah. Like they're bloodshot, yeah, and weird features, bloodshot
Yeah.
eyes.
Like yeah, like you said, I thought that was going to be some kind of like ring wraith. You know, they're going to be they're going to be tracked this whole time, and it's like I don't know. They quickly kind of hand wave a lot of things away, and that's something I'm kind of noticing about Roger Zelazny's work. I've only read 3 of his books so far. I've read this and then both of his Dilvish novels, and maybe it's just when he writes fantasy because I've heard that his science fiction is like top tier. But I've read his fantasy so far, and it seems like whenever he writes fantasy, he just kind of throws stuff at the wall, and no matter what it is, he's not really interested in like coming back to it and exploring it any further. Because there are so many moments in the Dilvish series I read where he will set up this idea of like how the world building works. Like he'll set up this concept for magic, and it will happen once in like one part of the story, and then it will never be brought up ever again. And you think to yourself, it'd be really convenient if we could bring that back in some way, but he never does. Which leads me into my next question. So at the very end, I know we're skipping super ahead, but this is at the very end when he gets Dworin to carve the teleporting trump card into his cell wall so he can escape to the lighthouse. What's preventing anyone else from following him to the lighthouse?
Don't you have to be a prince?
Okay, but like, at what point? He says he stays at that lighthouse for like what, 3 months, 5 months, or something like that, recovering strength.
Months, yeah.
At what point does one of the guards in the dungeon notice, oh hey, the prisoner isn't there, and brings it to the other prince's attention? And what's stopping Erik from coming down into the dungeon, seeing that there's a trump card carved into the wall, and immediately teleporting in and stopping?
He
Corwin
just thought it was just a doodle. It was just a doodle of a very suspicious lighthouse that he's familiar with. It's just right over there.
Right, exactly. He could have walked there. He wouldn't even have to go through the teleport.
You know, I didn't even think of that when I read it because it was just, I was kind of tired of it at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but honestly, the Lighthouse Keeper at the end, I kind of liked him. I thought, this guy knows
Cool
something.
character.
Yeah. What's this guy's deal? So, but then it just kind of ended. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, the end.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
old man of the sea knows something. Just don't mess with him. So, and then,
Who was behind the poster?
he just wants to be left alone, and those are the dangerous guys, right?
Oh, exactly.
Although he was like, "Take my boat." So what, you'll be stuck on this little island, buddy? All right.
He's old. He doesn't need to go anywhere. It's
Not
fine.
what about supplies? He's on a teeny little island.
Okay, so this brings up an interesting question. Is everyone from Amber immortal, or is it just the princes and their family?
I think it's just the princes.
I don't think
Like
so.
maybe
'Cause
I'm asking something that will be explained later, but
yeah, that old guy said he's been doing this for like over 100 years or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So are they just long lived, or I don't know? It's kind of unexplained. I'm not sure how
I'm
old
guessing
that goblin guy is.
Yeah, I'm guessing we see like something of an explanation because there are 9 more books in the series, but
Yeah.
who knows?
which we'll have done before the next episode of EEBS. We're going to have all 9 done. Okay, guys?
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to read the Great Book of Amber, that giant, what is it, like 12,000 or not 12,000, that 1,200 page book that has all 9 or all 10 books.
No.
You can get it for like $15 on Amazon right now.
Oh, really?
I didn't even realize I have half of them. Because I just buy them and collect science fiction books, and they don't say like the sequel to
Right.
9. It just has a different title. And so I'm looking through I'm like, oh, I literally have like 3 or 4 of these. Not the next 2, but that would have been nice. He kissed his sister. Hey, don't do that, buddy. Got a little Luke Skywalker action.
Well, okay, so to be fair, at that point, then I also had to remind myself, okay, this is like Greek mythology, Norse mythology. They're all timeless beings. Incest is gonna come into the picture at some point.
Prepare yourself.
It's a sad reality, but it's reality.
Yeah.
That's a good correlation between the Greek god stuff. That didn't even dawn on me, and it's very similar.
Well, see, I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of way that it ties in with different kind of mythologies and stuff. Because from what little I know about the rest of the books in the series, apparently Merlin, King Arthur's Merlin, is a character in this world. The next book is called The Guns of Avalon, so apparently, the Kingdom of Avalon works into this at some point. So I'm guessing that there's some kind of parallel between like different mythologies, especially since these characters are, like we said, like they're thousands of years old, I guess.
Yeah, they mentioned like historical stuff that happens, because I was like, what is this, Forrest Gump, where he was like he was around for the revolution? I don't remember. I have it's in my notes. I don't see it.
It would have been awesome if at the very end of the book the last line is, and that's all I have to say about that.
Exactly.
I gotta pee.
Oh man. No, but like he the first time he almost died was during like the Black Plague or whatever?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I do have some questions about that.
Yeah.
Like what were the, because apparently we were in our time when we're on our shadow realm, so our Earth, right? In the first in the beginning. What were these doctors doing? Like, who were they working for? Trying to keep them sedated? Who were they? I mean, because one of the doctors pulls a gun on him, and like it's super sketchy.
I think they're trying to imply that the sister Flora was paying them off, I guess.
Yeah, it's very unclear. At least I never.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think again it's one of those things that Roger Zelazny wrote it into the story and it was like, okay, we're gonna come back to this. Nope, we're not.
Really, like overall, like maybe this is an overarching idea, is that I think he's got too much going on and he's not taking the time to explain it, and it shows up throughout the book.
Maybe some of you guys in the chat can let us know, does he actually slow down? Because it makes sense, because he's setting up this huge world and he's doing it all in a very short amount of time. And so maybe he is just trying to get everything on the plate. And then later in the later books, he slows down or takes his time or explains. Because it seems like some of you guys in the chat have read all of them, it sounds like.
Well, Jake, it's funny you should mention that, because I watched a video that Grammaticus Books did about the Amber series. Apparently, he's a big fan. And according to him, around books 4 or 5, in his words, Roger Zelazny must have took a ton of acid. So
even more.
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to be honest. I'm just masochistic enough where that kind of makes me want to read the rest of the series. I want to see how wild it can get.
I think it's easier to try to talk about what did make sense in the story than to what didn't, because most of it didn't make sense. Did anyone see anything that made sense?
I don't know, the what was it? The little gnome people pumping gas into their sports car. That was
the underwater stairs.
yeah, the underwater steering.
I will say, as far as like imagery goes, the underwater stairs was kind of cool.
It was cool, yeah.
Just to imagine it, it's very like a D&D thing. Yeah, that was cool. I thought the part where they're going up the wall fighting the army, they're in single file.
Yeah, that was rad.
Slayed, and then the one prince gets up and he's just like wrecking shit.
Oh yeah,
that was so
Blaze.
awesome.
That was cool. Especially because he kept needing to take a break, and as soon as he would take a break, Corwin would throw a dagger, and that'd give him like a second to rest. Then he's back for more.
Yeah, I like the
yes, Levi.
I like the war scenes. They were cool. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I think they're all. I think I might like Blaze the most, purely because like you said, he's fighting his way up and just wrecking stuff. That said, I know this is a stupid question. Do we think Blaze is dead?
No. No.
I'm sure him catching Corwin's tarot deck has no repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a mistake for Corwin. I did like how he was throwing an absolute fit for the subsequent coronation and party scenes at the spoiler alert.
That was cool.
But he is just throwing a fit. I was rolling laughing. He's spilling out his drink and spitting, and
Dad says I get to be king.
Yeah.
That might be the top of the novel. The best part is when Corwin just plunks the crown on his own head.
Yeah.
And then throws it at him, tries to kill him with
the king. And he's in prison a year later. He's like, well, I'm actually king now.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
I don't know what they've been telling you upstairs, but I am the king.
You all saw me. Yeah, there's like a obviously he's how old are these people? Are they timeless? These godlike princes are thousands of years old, but there is that kind of that child, that immaturity that is found in a lot of in a lot of Greek and a lot of other it's like, just talk it out, you guys. It's found in a lot of mythology, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought because I'm definitely curious about, because the things they can do. And we see some of his powers, even when he's like emaciated and 86 pounds, he's still like, I could probably still kill a normal man. But I am curious to see what the extent of their powers. Even traveling through the shadows and kind of just get in the car, we're going, I'm going to make it all happen. It's just, I definitely want to know more. And it could just be that Zelazny was just coked out, right? And whatever, this will be cool. So that might be the case. We might never know.
Yeah. I'm definitely curious to find out, but I don't think I can handle more books. There might be a Zelazny wiki, though. I might check that out.
There probably is. But Eric, they're so short, though. What is this one? 120? No, okay, 170 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, 175.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty long.
Yeah,
man,
it dragged a bit. Yeah,
man, you guys are drawing the lines on this one.
I don't know what they're talking about. I had a lot of fun with this one. I thought it was so silly, but so cool, and so and plus the battle sequences, the whole I love that. Even from when they're like, all right, we'll go through the shadow, you go through this way, we'll go through and it was just, I don't know. I thought that whole part was cool, and they tricked these poor races. They pretended, we're going to reveal ourselves to them, be their gods, enslave them, and trick them into fighting our wars for us because I want to be king.
Yeah, that was the only part where Corwin was had a good guy, where he was like, oh, I'm looking around, I kind of feel bad, but that was the extent of it.
He spared his brother's the one brother that Julian, the Lord of the Hunt guy,
which is a
he
mistake.
spared his life.
Mhm.
Should have killed Julian. Stole his sweet horse.
I mean, Erik spared his life.
That's true. Yeah, but Erik spared his life because he wanted to torture him. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, Goblin, never forget, buddy. Never forget.
Never forget.
He's wearing the shirt. Eric's wearing the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really liked when he was in the jail cell. That was my favorite part of the book.
Because he was suffering.
all through sort of all throughout, they're just kind of like whatever. Like they don't really care. They're not worried about anything. They just are very, I don't know. Like nothing affects them, you know? And it finally, there was like some emotion. There was something going on where he was like, oh, this is for real. This is it. I'm going to die here, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like the only time that there was real tension in the book, because every other time they were just like, whatever, like, oh yeah, we'll get through this. And I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because that part, he even mentions, like, he kind of mockingly says something to the effect of, like, I won't do like the Count of Monte Cristo thing. And then he was like in a jail cell, like the Rura Penthe. It was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what context he said that in, but I kind of laughed.
What was he trying to do with the spoon again?
Tear the hinges off the door, I think.
Was
But
he
he
trying
sucked
to
at it?
get through the wall? He was trying to scrape through the wall.
Yeah.
To where, I'm not sure.
But he sucked at it. And he's like, this is going to take me months.
Yeah.
And by that time, my eyes will have grown back and they'll just put them out again. It's like, you could just keep your eyes closed.
Man, I sure hope a magical dwarf pops in here out of nowhere.
Yeah, maybe you guys in the chat too can answer this, because it did say they kept saying, like, when talking about, they didn't ever actually mention like the prophecy, which is, you know, that a trope, but they kept saying about the princes and about the kings and the coronation. They kept saying, like, well, it is written, and I just kept thinking, like, well, who wrote this? If these guys are creating these worlds or whatever, or the princes of these, like, where is this written? What are you referencing? What is the, you know, the origination of this belief or this, you know, I had a lot of questions about that.
I didn't think that the princes created the other worlds. I thought they just existed and they were just in the best world. The coolest guy in the best world.
Well, they can manipulate
like
the worlds.
World, right?
I don't know if they're actually creating anything. I think they're just manipulating them.
Maybe. I mean, Erik can control the weather in like 10 different shadow realms at the same time.
This is true.
And everybody's dying from rain.
I did like the few times he checks in with Blaze, and it's like, so how many guys have you lost? Well, you won't believe it, but rain.
Yeah, the trump cards kind of acted like cell phones or something, so it was a little odd. And the psychic contact they could have with each other was a little bit came out of nowhere.
And again, it only happens once, right? When or no, are you? Because there was one time where Corwin and Erik,
I think,
are like struggling against each other, and there's like a battle of wills or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens only once. But I don't know. Maybe it'll happen some other time in the series. I'm not sure.
It just came out of nowhere, and just
well, he can. It happened a couple times, but like not to that degree. Like I think when Corwin was in his jail cell at one point, he felt somebody, or no, is when he's in the lighthouse, he felt somebody, like he could tell somebody's trying to access or trying to touch his mind.
Yeah. So it came back a little bit, and he wasn't sure if it was Erik Maybe
Yeah.
he's afraid to make contact, so he doesn't want to lose another battle of wills or something.
So he's on airplane mode.
Yeah.
Airplane mode, yeah.
Interesting.
So that kind of brings me to my next question. Even though we don't know, like I said, we can't really differentiate these guys that much because they're all pretty much the same. Do we have any idea as to like where people's loyalties are going to lie? Are we going to get people like betraying Erik and joining Corwin's side? Are we going to get people betraying Corwin's side and joining Erik's side?
This is a part of the novel I had a big problem with. Is I didn't understand why they were loyal to one another or disloyal. It just seemed pretty random to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Is his name random because he's just going to jump around the playing field?
Random, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I could have swore I was trying to figure out before Dworin Ex Machina popped in and bailed him out of prison. I was thinking like, how does he escape? Because it's a 10-book series. How does he get out of jail? And the one thing I kept thinking of was the one brother Julian, the Huntmaster guy. They mentioned several times that like Erik's not happy with him, I guess. So I kept thinking, is Julian going to bail him out? And then that never happened. In fact, Julian pretty much hates him from beginning to end. So
Julian's a little punk. He's nothing without a sweet horse.
yeah.
This is crazy. I didn't think this would be so divisive or so, we have all such different takes. Because, Tim, did you like it?
So
Oh no. It's frozen in time.
No. Yeah, you're freezing up a little.
Hold on. Yeah, you're stuck in the shadow realm. Oh, there he goes.
No sound.
Nope.
No sound, brother.
Use your trump card.
Yeah. Well,
It's usually me having tech problems. So.
you're good. We just keep losing half your face, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah.
how about now?
And my microphone
Hey.
is.
Yeah, there it is.
We're back.
You're back.
No,
Oh my gosh. I think it's because I'm using my phone as a webcam and a mic. So it like keeps, I don't know what the problem is. I need to actually get some quality equipment for this.
Bah.
Whatever.
So
But anyway,
yeah.
What I was saying was I like the story. It's just the writing style that kind of I didn't jive with. I think, like I said, Zelazny is the kind of writer that I've seen him just kind of throw concepts around, and he has no care in the world as to whether he's going to come back to anything or going to elaborate on anything. Stuff just kind of happens. But as far as the big ideas go, I loved it because, like I said, I was getting all kinds of like Norse mythology, Greek mythology vibes going on, and I love that stuff.
So he's kind of haphazard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really got that sense with the first fight between Corwin and Erik. Just it didn't really work for me, and he appears out of nowhere. Erik appears out of nowhere. He's winning, and then he loses, and it just I don't know. It was a very odd fight.
It's also
hoping
very
that,
touch and go. Like,
Yeah, it's I don't know. I would have preferred to see Corwin get his butt kicked, so then we see him getting defeated, and then we can have some, build up some feeling for him on that, and then he can come back later and win. But it's just he's losing. Oh, now he won. Like, what?
Yeah.
What did you like about it, Jake?
I liked how, and maybe, I think I actually enjoyed his writing style because I think he's a fine writer. I think he's competent. I do think he's kind of, you could tell he's having fun. I think that's what I liked about this. When he's writing this, you can tell he's not burdened by this weight of I have to create this entire world and I have to dole out information carefully. And there's something to be said for authors who can do that, who have a huge world and they're able to like dole out the information, immerse you without killing you with exposition, without killing you with backstory and lore and description. And he didn't do any of that. And he probably erred too far on the side of like, this is a ride, baby. But I can tell when a writer is having fun with what they're doing and enjoying what they're writing. And I think he was having a ton of fun with this. It doesn't make it high art, in my opinion, but I think it does as far as the fun factor. I kind of liked how not everything is explained. As long as there's not like major plot holes, which there are some as we're discussing. I just thought the story was so unique. It's not like anything I've read before. It's very unique. And I did like the kind of trying to pin down what style this is, like that I'm reading, like what style book, because it kind of is like an adventure book it goes through like an adventure, and then it's this whole conquest, battle, war, and then I loved like the different sections of this book read quite differently. And so I don't know. Plus, Zelazny has some of the lines were straight up goofy, especially when he started getting into like 70s hip talk and then going, he's like, hey, we're getting creamed out here. Or I ended up writing down a ton of them. And, there's the thing. This is the rub, things like that. But then he has one line in the beginning when he's in the Fiona's library, when he's talking about the library. He's like, I love libraries. It makes me feel comfortable and secure to have walls of words, beautiful and wise all around me. I always feel better when I can see that there is something to hold back the shadows. Oh. That's an awesome line. That doesn't make sense in regard to the story because the shadows are something completely different.
It's true.
It doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm talking about. He's just like, one of my favorite books I read this year was Invaders of Rigel. The book sucks. It's straight up trash by Fletcher Pratt.
I was going to say, you dug into that book.
Oh, dude, it sucks. But it is so much fun because you can tell that Fletcher Pratt is writing it like a little kid, like, and then this happened, and he's playing with his toys and having the time of his life. And I don't know, that's how I read this, that he's just literally enjoying himself. And is it a perfect product? No, but I think it's interesting, it's unique, and yeah, maybe Zelazny doesn't remember any of it because he was, like we said, he was coked out of his brain, but I don't know.
That's a fair point, yeah.
I think I realize, though. I think I know now why. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. I think I know why this book didn't gel with you. It's because there's no barbarian babes, isn't it?
Yeah, they could have had more. Not one chainmail bikini,
Oh,
we got some green. We got some green nipples, though.
That's right, we did.
Did I miss that? I think I missed
the underwater scene.
Yeah, the underwater queen.
The queen that he had
Captain Kirk style.
Super casual sex with, yeah. Oh, man. Mark Clark, did you just get here, man? What the heck?
What's up, Mark? Just talking green nips, baby. Get that shamrock shake, know what I'm saying? And demonetized. Sorry about that.
Oh,
after all Tim's hard work.
Going on my channel, Jake. I worked so hard to be wholesome.
You never want to be the guy that owns the boat. You want to have the friend that owns the boat.
Yeah. But genuinely, I'm interested. Like, aside from the points you already mentioned, guys, what didn't work for you?
That's a fair number.
The lack of purpose.
Mm.
Yeah.
The lack of They just seem so like whatever. Like all of them are just like, I want to be king, whatever. Oh, we're all gonna die, whatever.
Hmm.
That drove me nuts.
Just the pettiness of it.
No, just that like it just didn't matter. I read this. You could even read the stupidest Cherry Delight book, but she cares, man. She wants to take that mobster down. These dudes are just like, guess I'll storm the castle. Well, I guess we need more guys.
I can't disagree with that point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, I think the carelessness of the characters sort of shows up a bit in the way that, I don't know, the story is put together. A big part of the problem I had near the end was this big battle scene. He was just describing these events happening, and I was just like, wow, like, so what? Like, I don't know where these guys are coming from. I can't visualize it. Their goals aren't completely clear. So I skipped over some pages because just like, yeah.
That's how you missed the underwater nips.
Yeah, now I know where to go look.
You skim, you miss.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed a little bit cobbled together. Like, why is this happening? It needed, like I said, I think it needed to be expanded, or he needs to focus on some smaller events and just focus on the characters and what they're feeling and how they get through it. It just seemed a bit thrown together.
Yeah, why should Corwin be the king? Why is Erik the bad guy?
Yeah.
None of those
because Dad said so.
Yeah, none of those things are pointed out. They're not shown. They're not even told.
Yeah, was Oberon even mentioned early in the book? I can't recall.
I don't think so. At least not to my recollection.
Because at some point
He only
talking about his
shows
dad, and I'm like, who's this guy?
quote unquote, when Corwin pulls out his trump card and is trying to talk to him.
I better call Dad.
Yeah, better call Dad.
Dad, I'm in jail.
Dad, just so we're cool, I can sit on the throne, right? Erik's taking it away from me. Oh no. Yeah, Shadow over Innsmouth all over again.
Yeah.
I like this better than Bum Cider, if that helps.
Oh yeah.
And definitely better than Death World. I just think that I'm not a fan of science fiction. That's what I'm starting to understand. I like sci-fi that takes place on our world. You know, they can travel through time or whatever, but if it remains here, I'm usually okay with it. When it's all wacky doodle. Wackadoodle, no. That part where he was like, they're driving to Amber. What's random?
Yeah.
And then it was just like all this random stuff. And then the sky's blue. Then there's a dinosaur. It's like someone's bad dream, like someone's stupid dream they're telling you about at work. Like,
and then the steering wheel was made out of wood at one point.
This is
We're
crazy.
in bad country.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what I thought was happening. What?
And why did that stuff happen anyway? Where were they? What road were they on? Where were they driving to?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they were in Amber or in another world.
You got to drive for a while to go to different dimensions. You can't just go through a door.
I'll be honest with you, Nick. I probably didn't understand anything that was going on. That was the one part that really did lose me. So I got no answers for you on that one.
I was long gone. Yeah.
And then they get just run off the road by a random trucker.
And random's just gonna shoot him. Like, I got this.
Random was pulls out a gat, tries to kill the dude. But that was the one, like the first time where we kind of see Corwin's humanity a little bit, because he stops random and is like, no, don't kill him. What's wrong with you? But then he undercuts it with he was mine to kill or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he might have been long gone at that point, because he did. I mean, the first introduction we have, doesn't he beat a doctor to death?
didn't beat him to death.
Didn't he?
I don't think he did.
He was a bad guy.
He was a bad guy. Eric's a bad guy.
Princess. Hold on. Getting to Amber.
Toss some chat up here, Tim.
Yeah,
We're missing.
Levi,
There we
let's
go.
put that up here.
Getting to Amber happens by the princess.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, why was he driving? Where was he driving to? Couldn't they just sit on the couch and do it?
That's a good question, Nick. It's a very good question. I don't know.
We didn't see any couches in Amber, so I don't think so.
Couches don't exist. Magic playing cards let you communicate with your family members exist, but not couches.
Hmm.
So, what was the other thing I wrote down? We already covered this. Should Erik have found Corwin while he was hiding in the lighthouse? Yes, he should have.
Yeah.
What were the did the sisters bring anything to the story whatsoever?
No. No, didn't they
Basically,
find
no.
one of them or something as a hostage? Oh yeah, she takes them to the water world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she
but
shows them, but they already knew how to get there, right?
yeah.
Because Random had been there because he impregnated a woman. And then
Oh, that's right.
and then she went back and took her own life. So when Random comes back, his punishment is that he has to marry another woman.
But she's blind.
Here's your punishment for what you did to my daughter. Marry this lady.
Just for a year, though.
Just for a year.
Just
Yeah.
For a year. Then you're out. Go get some cigarettes. Go get some cigarettes. Boy,
That was the other
everybody's-
thing. There is so much cigarette smoking in this book, like so much of it.
Yep.
That was the 70s flavor. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. The other thing that Grammaticus mentioned in his review is like, this is the most 70s fantasy series ever. And I'm like, okay. Apparently there's like motorcycle battles at one point.
Yeah.
You know what? Goblin brings up a good point. There was a couch in the lighthouse.
There you go.
Yep.
But it was already
Goblins
in
on top of
Amber.
this. Wow.
Wow.
I stand corrected. I guarantee if Zelazny I don't know if he's alive or dead, but if he was still around, I don't think he'd be able to answer any of these questions either.
It's very
Like,
possible.
I don't remember. It was the 70s.
You know how much acid I was doing back then?
Bum cider jokes.
Oh, there's the bum cider jokes. Here they come.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm not putting up the bum cider jokes. We needed to let bum cider die. I'm sorry, guys.
If you say that and do that, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah, I
If
know.
you suppress bum cider, it's going to get worse.
Erik, have you ever read bum cider?
I haven't. I'm wondering what's going on here.
Good. Don't read it.
Bum cider forever. you guys are out of your minds.
There you go.
Oh, I love how you always have it at arm's reach.
To be fair, I do too.
Nothing's put away. It's still sitting here
There
from
we
the
go.
last video.
Oh my gosh.
I like the cover of this book.
Oh yeah, the what is it?
I like
Which
the
one is
colors.
it?
Yeah.
That one's cool.
The
I
Avon
like that
cover.
one.
Yeah,
That one's better than mine here.
still a little night. Yeah.
Yeah. 70s and 80s books. Maybe some of the 90s as well. They had some great covers.
Oh yeah, I'm slowly collecting all of the what's the series called? The Draenei novels by David Gemmell. Every single cover is just it's so cool. So much cool stuff.
Never say die.
Bum ciders never say die. Whoa.
I'm gonna have to Google this after.
It-
Just
Just
watch our
the episode.
just watch our episode. No, then then you're doing it for an hour.
Bum Cider, the one book that Bryce from Shelf Centered had literally nothing good to say about.
Yeah, Michael Whalen is awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. Love me
Yeah,
some
dude.
Michael Whalen. Oh, do I have one of his? Yes, I have one of his ready for. I got the one Elric book that I got with the super sad cover where Elric's all depressed and beaten up.
I have speaking of my records, I have the Sepultura record that he did the cover of.
Oh, nice.
No, nice.
And it's
Just
not in
real
order, or else I pull it down. I don't know.
Show the chat how high those shelves go, because it's look at that. It's shocking. Oh my gosh.
That is impressive. How many records are in there? Do you know?
I don't know. I used to sell them, so I had more.
Oh, okay.
I had like not double this, but probably another half. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the metal section is.
Bah.
I'm not standing up.
Levi, we were just on a call with Joseph Reed's books the other day, and he showed off that hardcover.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
He was
That
way
cover's cool.
he was way into this book. Where's he at? I thought he was showing up. He should be here to defend it.
Hey, where you at, Joseph?
Joseph, help me. If you're out there, help me.
And Joseph will look down upon you and say no.
Ay, ay, ay. I don't have any records because it's all on your computer, you guys.
No.
It's all on your phone.
I inherited some records from my dad, so it's all like German polka and Boney
Nice.
M
German
and,
polka.
yeah.
Rad.
What's that guy with the glasses? Like almost white hair.
Weird Al Yankovic.
No. Oh, anyway, I'm not gonna.
The guy with the glass.
I'll remember in an hour from now. So yeah, the guy with the glasses.
we just get an email from Eric an hour and a half later. Guys, this book thinking of.
Elton John.
Yeah,
John
There's probably an
Lennon.
Elton John record in there somewhere.
Those guys have glasses.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that Roger Zelazny, when he was writing this, he was listening to German polka.
No, probably.
He was listening
Something.
to Jefferson Airplane.
Listen, they get into it.
Yeah, he was listening to the White Rabbit, man.
Yeah.
The White Rabbit. Is anyone else? This might just be me. Has
I know,
anyone
that's it.
gotten back into collecting cassettes?
Yeah, I have cassettes.
No.
There's no reason for me to do it. It's just super nostalgic. I like how it sounds.
I had a ton of them, but they're all lost now. So
Oh,
or chewed up.
I had a record label, and I was putting out tapes.
Oh yeah.
oh, nice.
Oh nice.
There's
No.
all these like new power metal bands and doom metal bands and stuff that are releasing their new albums on cassette. So I have a couple of them. I
Jake,
got the new. I have the Castle Rat album that just came out. I've got that on cassette.
Oh yeah, I love them.
There's another band called Fairy Ring. I have their new album on cassette.
I felt the exact same, and I kind of still do. I thought it was really stupid, but pressing a record is like thousands of dollars, and pressing a tape is like $200. And you're like, do it.
There you go.
Well, you're all hipsters.
Look
You
at your
guys-
wall.
But see, here's the thing. It's not like the technology has changed. You can still go, these still work. You can still go buy books.
Ebooks.
Are you insinuating that the cassette tapes don't work?
When's the last time you went to go to Best Buy and see if you can buy a cassette player?
I think they have them. I was at a
They
big
probably
superstore today, and they had brand new blank tapes.
Really?
No, I'm sorry, Mark Clark. I don't watch The Simpsons, so all the references would be lost on me.
Oh, they were from Phoenix when I lived there.
Nice.
The Oakley
Yeah, I've
Dokley
seen
the
them.
Simpsons metal band.
Yeah, Simpsons was one of those cultural phenomenons I never get into for some reason. I've seen all of Futurama though.
How did we get talking about cassettes and Simpsons?
Because we were talking about records, and then you
What
called
more
us
is there to say about this?
Makes as much sense as Zelazny. So.
Yeah.
And also, Jake, how dare you call us hipsters? You run a YouTube channel that's all about reviewing pulp science fiction novels
That's what
before anything before the 1980s. How dare you call us hipsters?
That's the
Okay.
good stuff.
All right, you're right.
we did not get this. That's because Jarell and Jory was good.
That's true. That's true, Levi. Jarell Joy was good. It was really good. Jarell Joy was better than this.
Yeah, it was. Ooh, Eric, did you ever get around to reading Jarell Joy?
I've got it here. This year has been really bad for, well, basically everything, reading and writing. So I've got it. It's in the pile. I believe I read it or parts of it at least way back. That's like 25 years ago. So.
Love that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. It's worth a read.
Yeah.
They're little short stories too, so you don't have to do it all at once. You can just do a little bit at a time.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to split up my reading between more established authors and indie authors, but it's going really slow. So.
Indie authors? Who cares about indie authors?
And there it is.
Yeah, bums.
All right, gentlemen. We have any last thoughts on Nine Princes in Amber?
It says here on my cover, fantastic, a believable fantasy.
Was it?
No, it's not a believable fantasy. Science Fiction Writers of America Journal got that wrong, but I thought it was a lot of fun. If you're looking for everything to make sense, or if you like your fantasy worlds fleshed out and the magic systems fully explained, it's probably not for you. But no, I thought it was a fun read. It's a pretty quick read. I'll probably read the sequel.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely I'm at least gonna read the first 5 because apparently that's like the Corwin story arc, and then after that it gets into like a different story arc.
I mean,
So yeah, I enjoyed it. You know what, Nick, Eric,
fun,
you guys are just a bunch of party poopers, pooping on my party.
Yeah. No, honestly, if people like that, go for it. Absolutely. Just I don't think it was for me. I have some strange taste though. I don't like Stephen King, for instance. I know that's probably
Based.
controversial.
You know what? Based. Thank you,
Yeah?
Eric.
Somebody agrees with me.
I like
I
some
take
Stephen
back
King.
everything I said, Eric. You're 100% valid. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I don't make
All
that
right.
about it. Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add, Nick? Or you just
Nick's done.
I don't know. I have like 3 pages of negative things to say, and I feel I've said enough.
You made notes? Oh,
Yeah.
He always makes notes.
bro.
We take these books way too seriously, Eric.
Yeah. Especially bum cider.
Especially.
I'm gonna go watch this episode. I have to know more. I want to know more.
I'm just gonna say it. We eviscerated that book. And you know what? I started off being nice about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not holding anything back. Yes, you're right, guys. This book sucked.
Tim, you said you liked it. I remember.
Because I did like the beginning of it, and then it sucked.
No, you're folding to peer pressure. You loved it. We all hated it.
Where do the lies end, Jake? First, I'm the one who chose bum cider. Now I liked bum cider.
It is definitely
Show me the
your fault.
receipts.
It is definitely your fault. We can go
Show
back
me
and
the
look in the
receipts,
comments.
You know what? I'll take the blame for Death World. I'm not taking the blame for bum cider.
Fine. No, not fine. We're sharing the blame for bum cider. And Mark Clark, you can share some blame too.
I like how you're passing around the blame on these like sci-fi books, but no one mentions the Hawk book with the snuff film and like
We're trying to forget it.
that's the one that like should be embarrassing. Like, oh, who picked that?
Yeah. Underage hookers getting cut in half by chainsaws. Yeah.
Again, on my channel. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now that we've gone through that, anything you guys need to promote before we wrap this up?
Anything we need to what?
Anything you need to promote? Shill.
Oh, promote. Well, yeah, sure. I'm actually here we go. So this is my Sword and 70 series, which is appropriate for
Oh,
Yeah. There we go.
He's passing. He's passing through the shadows.
Passing through the shadows. Friggin' camera. Okay, yeah. So Sword and 70s. This is there we go. Fangs of the Moon Opal, and that axe anciently was mine. It's gonna. There we go.
Hey.
So this is kind of a gonzo sword and sorcery set in 1970 Chicago. It gets weird. I'm writing volume 3 right now, so do that one first. And then this is my main series, my main sword and sorcery series.
Yeah.
Citadel of 7 Swords. And oh, come on. Weird of the Skull Totem. It's the Wandering Sword series. I am working on book 3 as well. It's going a little slow.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but you mentioned that was going to be like some Conan meets like Land of the Lost dinosaur stuff.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's Conan. Skarda is not really a Conan, but it's definitely inspired by the Hyborian Age. It's. I'm inspired by Robert E. Howard, and yeah, book 3 is kind of like Land of the Lost situation with lost tribes, hot princesses, giant monsters, that kind of thing.
It's more than inspired by Conan, I must say, because if you look at a side by side here, we got a shameless self-insert happening here.
This
Take your shirt off.
You don't want
Let's
to
see it.
Yeah, I've had that brought up before, and honestly, I described the character to the artist, and he shot it back to me. I'm like, well, that's perfect. I didn't give him a picture of myself, so. But I'm happy with it.
My favorite line was, "By Thundir's girdle, that jungle has put a stink on me," he lamented. As someone who has backpacked and hiked through multiple jungles, I can attest that this is accurate.
Oh no!
thank you for
Grammaticus
reading
just got here.
They all hated it, Grammaticus. They all hated it. They all hated it
It
except for me.
Again, with the gaslighting. I love the book. I just thought it was weirdly written.
He kept saying that tool bag Grammaticus likes it, so I feel obligated to now. That's what he kept saying. We were all like,
I
no,
would
he's a
never
nice
say such a
guy.
thing.
Grammaticus is a nice guy.
He
said book
he is a nice guy. He's
book
one of
douche.
those wholesome people on YouTube. How dare you?
Book douche. Yeah, that's what he said. I couldn't believe it.
I'm sorry, Grammaticus. I tried. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go next. My name is Jake over at Pulp Mortem. I review old science fiction like a hipster, looking for lost classics. So I go for the obscure authors or people who didn't do much, and usually that lands me in some awful reads. But I found a few treasures, so I usually do a video a week. I don't know if I'll get one out this week just because things are busy, but yeah, that's what I do.
Nicholas.
Nick, Book Graveyard. I talk about also vintage fiction as a hipster. And I have reviews coming up. I do them in threes. And I got a Silver John and a Travis McGee and a Guy N. Smith. I'm very excited because it's already done. This is the first time we've done an EEBS in like 4 episodes where I had something to talk about. So that should be out, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Is tomorrow Thursday? I don't know.
I need to read those Silver John stories.
It's so awesome.
They sound a lot of fun.
I would pick it for the group, but they're so expensive.
Mm.
Dude, we're all loaded. We're all YouTubers.
Sounds piratey.
He's a folk singer.
Oh.
Yeah, he fights the evils of the world. He's like a like an occult detective, but in Appalachia.
Nice.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And the author's name is Manly Wade Wellman.
Manly Wade Wellman, yeah.
Manly Wade Wellman. That is the greatest pen name ever.
Yeah, I go a little crazy. No, that's his real name.
Is it actually? No,
Yeah. No.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's how he was born. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and the books are very manly too.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right, Tim, would you want to plug anything?
Well, I deep in the middle of my my Star Trek reviews, slowly going through the Star Trek novels as I work my way into the series. Recently did a review on this one, A Boat of Life, which was okay. And I'm working on a review for some of the James Blish Star Trek short stories, which were actually pretty cool. And Jake, you'll appreciate this. I finally started watching some actual Star Trek because one of the short stories in here was Arena. So I watched the Star Trek episode Arena, and that was a lot of fun.
It's freaking awesome.
It was so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to start watching some more episodes as soon as we're done here, because it's whetted my appetite for some Star Trek. So yeah, keep an eye out for more Star Trek reviews from me coming soon.
All right.
And yeah, looks like that's going to wrap it up for this stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Wrap it up. So yeah, everybody, extra special thanks to our guest Erik Waag.
Yes.
Everybody, be sure to give him a follow.
Buy his books.
Go get his books. They're really
please.
good. Yeah, support indie authors for sure. And before we go, we do have our next episode of the Elusive Exclusive Book Society planned. It is going to be November 27th. Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
November 27th at 2 p.m. Central Time. And our special guest is Joseph Reed's Books, who's a fellow Texan. He actually lives pretty close to me, and we've met up, and I gave him this book because I thought, well, this episode, it was kind of Texas against all these hipsters here, hipsters and Vikings. So I'm going to have backup next week as we do the Texas-Israeli War 1999. which is probably going to be hot garbage. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's again, that's November 27th at 2 p.m. Central Time. We'll be live again, and that'll be on my channel, Pull Mortem. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Sorry you guys didn't like the book. I can't help it if you don't have the best taste, but that's okay. Anyways,
again, I'm sure if it just had Viking babes, Erik would have loved it.
Pretty much.
Nick probably would have loved it too if it was nothing but Viking babes.
well, it couldn't hurt.
No.
Yeah.
Never hurt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks. This was fun.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, Rick.
And we're out.
And we're out.
Turn it off.
And shut it off.
Head down.